and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to Sober Talk and happy holidays to all of you wherever you're at. This is, I guess you could say, the holiday special. Figured we'd go ahead and just come together and talk about sobriety because I know that for some people, this is a hard time of year to stay sober. It's very hard to stay sober around this time of year. And I figured today will be no different talking about some of the challenges. Yes, you are, honey. You're the first. Talk about some of the challenges of staying sober around this time of year. Some people, it's very difficult. So, uh, today I'll actually tell some of the things that I've seen done in the past, obviously before 2020. We'll even talk about as you should be. That's correct there. We won't be staying live as long as we normally do. I didn't really fully get a chance to do the announcements last night, but we're going to kind of do them tonight. We're going to be doing another holiday special here in a little bit. It'll be a fortnight holiday special coming a little bit later on tonight. It's going to be a marathon stream. I'm going to be very exhausted, but thank goodness, tomorrow is. Well, hello, Gamerian. Happy holidays to you, my dear friend. Is going to be live. He's going to be our special co-host tonight for the holiday special. Helped me get stuff together last night. It is yes, happy winter solstice, Ian. Which for us pagans, the solstice is it's the first day of winter we celebrate. It's shortest day of the year. The ancients knew, but we don't push all that, so it just kind of for everybody, happy holiday. you know, um, so Henri, yes, love them to pieces. But we're all here now, and whatever. I'm not even drinking my traditional coffee. I'm actually having a cup of hot chocolate. Very traditional around this time of year. It's not the one from. It is so good to see you. Yes, Mr. Gamerian BRFC is going to be live with me later on. Um, and we're going to be doing basically a fortnight, uh, holiday giveaway. Helped me put that together. I mean, him and Raven really helped out a great deal. Him and Mr. Raven Nuts. Um, the both of them really came through, helping me put together this big. Oh, we wouldn't have you any other way, brother. Love you, man. Love you. Um, you're such an honor. You're not joining tonight? Oh, I was hoping you would, but I understand. I know you got a lot of family stuff going on yourself. So I understand. I understand. But even if he's not going to be able to be with us tonight, I want to give a special thank you. Give a special thank you to both Ian and Raven for tonight, because without their help, I wouldn't be as set as I am right now for tonight's giveaway on Fortnite, which is going to be Save the World. Um, if it hadn't been for all the hard work that they helped put in, I would not be able to do what I'm going to be able to do tonight. So a big special thank you to both of them, to both Ian and Raven. Couldn't do it without them, and that's for sure. There's a lot of, you know, hey, I totally get it, man. I totally get it. You do me a big favor. You give mom and dad a big hug from me, and tell them that Happy holidays from the Prince Magnum channel all the way over here in the U.S. Give him a big, give him a big special hug from us here, from HQ, because you know we love you, brother. We love you. We love I love you guys. I'm going to say it right now. Um, since this is sober talk, and the big thing that I want to really stress. Um, I'm appreciative of all of the Maverick Nation, but it seems like the folks over in the UK really have come through this past year. I mean, really came through, and you know the the Maverick Nation abroad, I guess you could say, the Maverick Nation abroad really came through, and just some of the things that we've gotten to do this year has been, oh, we love you guys. We love you guys. The biggest announcement that I have tonight, without a question, is we did break that 4,000 watch hour marker. YouTube sent me a special, they sent me a notification, via YouTube itself, and they sent me that special email saying it's time, Prince Magnum, it's time to turn the monetization back on. And we had to go in and reset up AdSense, which I got to double check that after the Sober Talk stream, and talk about a great holiday present being dropped in your lap. Right as the holidays are coming around. Because one of the biggest things that we've struggled with is the Prince Magnum channel is a DIY channel. We are DIY. And it gets expensive. Some of the projects get expensive. And I'm going to say it right now, Project Lena needs a lot of TLC. Project Lena, as much as we love that car, and I know Ian, I know you love Project Lena a great deal. That's your favorite project car, just because it's a sleeker design than good old Spirit. Spirit comes from a different time frame, and I know you appreciate that sleeker look that Lena has that brings to the party, which is one of the reasons why one of the reasons why I like to have something old, something new on the channel like that. Um, Sis, another horse. When are you going to get that square body Chevy? When are you going to get that square body Chevy so we can get to work on that? And most of them are rust buckets by now, beyond belief, even more so than Spirit could ever be. Mm. Right? There's a laundry list of problems with Project Lena. Um, right, sis. And the fact that we got that email and that we're on that road to getting it all right. I understand, sis. I'm just giving you grief, but if you want that cool ride, you're gonna have to save the money. I know you will. You right now you want what you want, and I get it. I get it. Yeah, Christmas present. Yeah. Um, so I know Ian is a big fan of Project Lena, which let me say right now, with the problems that she has, these are actual typical problems with most modern vehicles anyways. And with the new series that we're bringing out next year, um, this is actually perfect. I mean, it sucks, but the timing for everything has been perfect, I guess you could say. Project Lena needing, a lot of repairs, and at the same time, getting that email saying it's time, Prince Magnum, it's time for you to start making money doing what you do. And that's fantastic. It's fantastic. Um, that it's time to to turn the monetization on and start making the Prince Magnum channel exactly what it's meant to be. To basically the channel needs to start paying for itself, if you will. And of course, within a couple more years, we're hoping that the channel will be able to pay more than just itself. It'll be able to pay some of the bills as well. Which that's kind of the big hope. but now we're on the cusp of that. The main thing is to get the Prince Magnum channel to pay for itself. And that's actually one of the first things that we're going to look at doing, um, you know, um, is basically, you know, putting the money back into the channel. I also know that at the beginning of the year, we're also supposed to be getting another stimulus check, which some of that money will definitely go back into Project Lena. Spirit's in pretty good shape right now. Spirit needs the odds and ends, those typical odds and ends that, usually need to be fixed on those old cars, but it can wait a second. It's waited this long. It's not going to break anytime this second, so we don't have to worry about it this second. Um, this is all perfect timing, so we can put back into the channel now properly. The channel can start paying for itself at least somewhat. Um, you know, so that's kind of where this stands. And, kind of today, hey, what's going on, Stewie? For us, it's the winter solstice. We celebrate the winter solstice, but Merry Christmas to you. Um, I'm pagan, and the winter solstice, what that actually is celebrating the first day of winter, which has the least amount of hours of sunlight. Yeah, that's also on the plate. Mainly, I'm more worried about Lena because there's a lot of issues. And Princess Faye, even though we put the automatic into Project Spirit, Princess Faye does feel she can drive Spirit, but she's not. It's one of those things that she's not 100% comfortable with it yet. It's one of those, so with the problems with Lena, her brakes are getting weaker, and we really got to go through that front end because the front brakes aren't where they're supposed to be. So that's a bad thing. That's a really bad thing. Um, you know, Unless you want to just, drop a cinder block out the window as an anchor and hope for the best. I mean, that's no, I don't think that'll work. So it's one of those things that we got to start looking at those things. I want Princess Faye to enjoy her project. Um, but in a have to situation, I know she can handle Spirit, and I know she'll be fine with driving Spirit. But at the same time, I have to, with me working a half an hour away now from home, it now is where we almost have no choice but to keep Lena on the road more than we did before. So I have to look at it in that regard where, okay, so yeah, the graphics card is definitely one of the things, depending on what the stimulus check looks like, the main things that got to get taken care of on Lena. She's got to have new brakes, rotors. I mean, we're going to go through that front end, but brakes and rotors is definitely out of the gate. And while we're at it, we might even look at getting the caliper swapped out too, because we're dealing with calipers that are probably the original ones. And Spirit's already had, a complete front disc brake conversion. And I could tell you that her brake system had been gone through at least a couple of times even before we got our hands on her. So it's one of those things, brake systems don't last forever. And I want that car to be, cherry Terry, where Princess Babe will not have any problems. We got issues with the freaking driver's window again. We just fixed that damn thing earlier this year. It's kind of like that, where, we're having to plastic bag it or tarp it, and that's no good. That's with us dealing with the pandemic and that slowly going, all that being going away and that sort of thing. The pandemic, I got a funny feeling that this next year that we're probably going to take it a little bit more serious, that people will finally be tired of people dying around them. And we're probably, here in the United States, we'll probably take it a little bit more seriously, because this year it's kind of like people didn't really get it until they got it, if you will. So that's kind of what we're dealing with right now is, I think I think once somebody says exactly what needs to be said is, "Are you all tired of the death? Let's do something about this," sort of thing. Um, it's kinda like that. Um, I think it's gonna come to I honestly almost feel it's probably gonna end up eventually coming down to where it's gonna have to be martial law, which is dangerous, because under martial law, people can abuse power. We've seen it before. Um, National Guard, martial law, Hurricane Katrina. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I heard you guys finally, yeah. So this year has been, I guess you could say, quite a weird year, you know? Yeah, hot chocolate's good, honey. I kind of wish I had some more. I'm almost out. So this, 2020 has been a weird year. It's been a weird year. This was, I mean, my channel has grown a great deal. Yeah. There's talk about that after the new year, which is weird to me. I mean, no disrespect to, to those of us who work in the fast food industry, or the restaurant industry in general, but I still don't fully get where um, here in the United States, you know what, Ian? I've had a great deal of fun running with you this year. We've had a lot of fun, haven't we? It's been a lot of fun. And, it's been a good time. I, right. You know, it's, you know, it has been an interesting year. I've met so many of you. I've got to enjoy. I've, this is the first time I've got to enjoy, conversations and, while playing video games with folks from across the pond. And for me, that has been absolutely exciting. Um, as a member of AA, have been taught to be thankful, be grateful. You can't be hateful and grateful at the same time. It doesn't work. And, you know, here we are. We're talking, about this pandemic, and then, I got to sit down and make content with other people, you know, and we've had fun. We've had fun. We developed a drag queen character this year. I can't talk either. And we got people thinking. We got people thinking, and it's been good. It's been a good type of thinking. I've moved to a different job location, and I'm happy. Um, it's the first time in a long time I've been happy at a job. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying the work. I love my new boss. Not like that, but I appreciate the fact that she treats everybody fair. I appreciate that. You know, um, I can appreciate her, and I've, you know, they treat me good there. They treat me good. So it's been a good year, And here on the channel itself, like I said, I got to know a lot of people from around the world. Got to talk with a lot of people around the world, and I've learned so much. Um, so here I am at 41 years old, learning more than I could have ever have imagined, and I'm having a good time. I am having a great time. And I keep saying it. It seems like I'm having more fun as I get older. I'm having a great deal of fun. Baby. my beautiful, lovely wife. And so we're on that road, you know. The funny thing about the channel is I always said that we would never do video games, and here we are. I've changed, changed my outlook. I'm doing video games on the channel. I needed winter content, and it seems like the older I get, the harder it is to get out there when it gets this cold. Because we went out, and I got to sit down and edit this because it's going to be so amazing. It's been a family tradition of mine that come the holiday season like this, Christmas lights. You jump in the old car, the old truck, and you go out and look at Christmas lights. And it doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but for kids, it's entertaining. I'm still a big kid at heart. I'm a big kid at heart. And, I thought it would be fun if Princess Faye and I went out and just looked at Christmas lights. And we had a good time, had a great time. We just talked. But, I think this year, I turned on the dash cam, and I guess you could say this year I'm taking you guys with us. Uh, won't get to hear the conversation, but you guys will get to look at the Christmas lights this year with us. I think that'd be so much fun. Um, you know, it's been a tradition in my family, and now I'm going to share it with all of you. You know, and of course, we took Project Spirit, which was just exciting. Princess Faye, something special about, your sweetheart scooting up next to you. I know it's kind of a weird tradition, but a lot of it used to be a tradition for a lot of families back then. The Christmas lights were entertaining to kids, to go around and see how people decorated, put the Christmas lights up on their house. So a lot of people, it was entertainment back then. We didn't have a lot of the stuff that we have today. And I try to keep that tradition alive. And I did it with all of my kids, and I still do it. I'm still a big kid, you know. Um, it's just one of those things. I actually was telling Princess Faye about a story from when I was a kid. There used to be this old man that every year he would just do the. He kind of lived out in the sticks a little bit, out in the kind of at the edge of town where it's still a lot of trees, a lot of wooded area, and he would just do this huge, huge Christmas lights display, and he basically kind of opened his home, his front yard to the public, and you could come over and had this big, giant, huge front yard because, like I said, it was kind of on the edge of town, so he had a lot of property, and you would get out of your car and just kind of walk around looking at all the Christmas lights, and he did it every year. I hated to see that man's electric bill. Good God, it probably was astronomical. And as a kid, I remember, being the oldest. My little brother.
It just got done
Okay,
boiling, so like leave it alone for like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, babe.
I kind of overfilled it too.
Oh, okay. I'm fine. Thank you, dear. I love you. um, so I was telling her that story, and you know, people would bring their kids from all around to see this display. It was free, it was free, but you could, it was entertainment. It's not coffee, it's hot chocolate. Oh, that's good. Good, good. Where's yours? Well, front door's open, brother. You can come in. You can have a cup of hot chocolate with us. You're more than welcome to. Um, so I was telling her how, here I was 4 years old, and my little brother hadn't quite made it to this world yet. My first little brother, tell you, it was 1980, 1983, I think, 1983. Um, so it's just, um, and I remember as we were walking around, old man came out and he's like, yeah, yeah, front door's open. Make yourself at home. um, I say that one of these times someone's really going to actually take me up on that. That point, I'd be happy. I'd be all right with that. But, so it's one of those things, people, all right, front door is open. We'll keep it warm for you. But I met the old man who put it out there. He would stand out there and he'd talk to the families and everything, and came up. And like I said, I was 4 years old if I remember correctly. It would have been about 1983 because my brother was born in '84, and um, when he walked up and dad and this older man were talking. um I don't even remember the conversation. Come on, I was 4 freaking years old. And I was just looking at the lights, but I well behaved. And the man was like, he's like, I like you, you're well behaved. He said, would you like to come in and have a cup of hot chocolate? He invited me, invited my mom, my dad, myself into his home and had a cup of hot chocolate. Mrs. started, giving me cookies and everything, kind of like almost like a real life Santa Claus sort of type. But he did it every year. And the last time I seen that man, I was probably like 9, 10 years old. Because the last time I'd seen him, um, if I remember correctly, mom and dad hadn't split up yet. So then that happened when I was 11. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he's the same age as you. Yeah, I was born in 84. So I was born in 79. He was born in 84. Then I got another brother that was born in 91, and then another one that was born in 94. I forget when my brother, yeah. And my little sister, Hannah, is actually a year younger than my oldest daughter, yeah, which Alexis will be 19 this year. Good God. I always remember teasing dad about it. What, you got tired of me calling you old man? But yeah, it was a really nice, it was a really nice, we were just talking about it and I'm like, you know, we're in good shape where we could do that, jump in an old car and do it kind of like we did back then. It was really nice to be able to do that again this year. And it's, family traditions, around this time of year. I get to pick them back up. I get to pick them back up. And I've been doing that in sobriety more and more, grabbing towards family traditions and kind of taking things, being able to be a little bit more traditional in some ways. In other ways that obviously I've got to change. And, it's a new age. Um, need I say more about cinnamon? I've had to change quite a bit. I've had to kind of rethink some different things, um, where I stood on some things before, I've kind of had to look at it again. And as I get older, some things I get more lenient on, other things I become more rigid on. And that's just part of sobriety. You just typically find as time goes on, you kind of change. Where you started in sobriety is usually not where you think you're going to be going. So a lot of times you change in so many other ways. And that's just one of those things. Just one of those things. But I always like to say Ian's my brother from another mother from across the pond. You know, um, yeah, I'm very fortunate to have so many wonderful friends now, family that wants me around in sobriety, and during the holiday season, right, right. During the holiday season, for members of Alcoholics Anonymous, some people do have a problem with returning home to meet to their family. They don't want their alcoholic family member that's been terrorizing the family for X amount of years. And for some people, returning home during the holidays just isn't possible. And it usually isn't possible for some years. I have actually met members of Alcoholics Anonymous that they can't return home for a while. They're new in sobriety, and the holidays are very lonely for them. Around this coming Valentine's Day, I'm going to have to tell a story that um, was probably one of the hardest ones for me to get through. My first winter solstice in sobriety was definitely interesting. Um, I remember going out shopping for my daughters Alexis and Amber, and they weren't home because their mother had packed them up earlier that year and left. And I knew she would be a jackass and would not let me see my girls. But I was still buying presents for them as if I was going to see them, put them under a tree, the whole 9 yards. I didn't get to see them. That was hard. And that was very difficult during the holiday season. It was probably one of the hardest things I had to deal with. And, so it was a strange time for me. I've had strange holidays like that, you know, but for some members of AA, they don't get to return home. There's actually a gentleman in the next county over, Washington County, in a town called Potosi. What he does every year, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do it this year. Actually, I'm pretty sure he won't be doing it this year. But what he would do for AA members that couldn't return home is their mother still won't let me see them. Their mother still won't let me see them. I do have pictures of them. Oh my God, I have beautiful daughters. I have gorgeous daughters. Um, all my daughters are just beautiful, beautiful young ladies. I have handsome boys. It's all good. Um, their moms are good. They got a good mom. Her and I weren't good together there at the end. Um, we weren't good together. Even if I'd have got sober, I think um, before she would have left, if she hadn't have left the way that she left, and I did get sober, I think eventually we probably would have fell apart anyways. I honestly believe that. Um, as crazy as that sounds, I honestly think that we would eventually had split, but I don't think it would have been like it is now. I think it would have been a different, you know, I think it would have been different. Um, but I think that, I think we would have eventually split, but we'd at least still talk. Um, yeah, it was a strange time. But there's this particular gentleman, he always opens up his home. Him and his wife will put out this big giant spread, and you can come over, and basically it's what he calls an open house for the holidays. And for AA members, you come in, say hi, help yourself to whatever's on the table. What his wife basically keeps the table stocked. You can eat as much as you want. Come in, fellowship with other members of AA, stay as long as you want for the day, as long as you want on Christmas Day. So you don't have to be alone. I never went, but I hear it's really nice. And I always told him, I said, I think that's really awesome of you, man. I said, I have family to go home to myself, but you know, I think that's really awesome. You know, um, so that's just one of those things. Now back to my kids. Alexis and Amber, the two oldest, will probably, I imagine, now that they're older, Alexis is, you know, hang on, she's gonna be 19 soon. She's gonna be 19 soon. And, Amber's not too far behind her. Now, Alexis suffers from autism. Amber, on the other hand, is, she's smart, too dang smart for her own good. I knew that back then. So I imagine that she would blow my mind away now. I give it a couple more years, and I got a funny feeling that the girls are going to seek me out. And since this is sober talk, I'm going to go ahead and put it like this. You know, I have a funny feeling that when it all comes out, when when their mom basically, when they, track me down, what happened, Dad? And I tell them what happened, their mother's going to have some explaining to do. Why? Why, Mom? He did straighten out. He went and got help. You knew it, but you kept it from us, you know? And she's going to be the one who has to explain that. I'd hate to be in her shoes at that point, you know? I would really hate to be in her shoes, but it's going to be on her because, I left that door open. I'm I've got a good feeling on it. I got a good feeling on it. I imagine when when it all comes out, I really would hate to be in her shoes. But then again, if I know my girls, they'll understand, because I mean, yeah, I'm a little bitter about it. I wouldn't mind spending time with all of my kids. Three of my kids were wrongly taken by the state of Missouri. Uh, being Native American, and my one sounded, and obviously this is not AA, what I'm about to say, definitely deserves to be in one of the last segments for In Your Face, but I'll go ahead and throw this out there. If you're Native American, or for that matter, anyone, and you're an expecting parent, if there's anything that you should do, if you're an expecting parent and you live in Missouri, what is the one thing that you should do? Move out of Missouri. Do not have your child in Missouri because Missouri thinks it's cute to take your children away for no reason. They love doing that, and especially if you're Native American. Even though my people belong here, it's just one of those things. Sad as it sounds. I have a child right now who's stuck inside of a more or less like a boarding home, more or less, and he shouldn't be. He wants to come home, but this, state of Missouri, 13 years old, my son Devin, he doesn't want to be there. I think he should have that right to decide where he wants to go. He's old enough to make to start making his own decisions, and I know he doesn't want to be there. He would rather be home for the holidays. He'd like to be away from there anyways. Him and I've talked numerous times, and he said, "Yeah, I want to come home." I said, "Front door's open, son." Hey, what's going on, Simon? Kind of talking some holiday stuff here in Sober Talk. Kind of just chit chatting, sharing some old stories, but then talking about current events at the same time. I hate the fact that my kids aren't here. I love, and for those that don't know, I love going shopping, buying the kids presents. I love it. So much fun. Love it. Buying presents for the kids, and then sneaking around buying presents for your wife. There's no, I'm telling you, it's one of the many great blessings I've got to enjoy in sobriety. That is not a joke. I have had so much fun going around. I get to, right, Simon? I love going, and I know Princess Faye is like, yeah, you like sneaking around. She knows about my past stuff. She's like, I bet you like sneaking around. But no, think about it. I mean, you get to be a sneaky little snot for a good reason, going around buying presents and hiding them. Oh, it's so much fun. Y'all don't get it, you know. You know, if you've not been married and you know that sort of you don't know what we're talking about, but it's so much fun, so much fun, and I do have a good time. I do have a good time. That's my favorite part of it, sneaking around buying presents for the family, and that's I know the day is going to come when I get to do that with grandchildren. Oh my God, they're not even here, and I'm already getting excited. Love that stuff. What's your question? Lay it on me. You say that in. What do I live for? What do I live for? The thrill of life, my friend. The thrill of life. I live for, you know, whatever that next thrill is. It could be something like, you know, working on a car. Um, you know, it could be spending time with your sweetheart. It could be helping someone that doesn't know that there is happiness, that you can enjoy life. You can enjoy it without a drink or a drug, and I do. There's so much to live for. There's so much excitement just right at your fingertips, and I have a great time. I live for the excitement. I live for the thrill of life, and I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time. And the older I get, the more I enjoy it, without a question. I do enjoy it. Ian, you better hope Pinky doesn't see that. She'll thump on you. I'll tell you right now that you got a good woman. She's a good woman. More sassy. My pleasure. My pleasure. Um, I really hope that did answer your question really well. But I enjoy life. I do. I have a great time. I'm 41 years old, and I'm enjoying life more now than I have had at any point in my life. The only thing that I wish is my kids were here, enjoying it with me. That's just how I am. If you know, I enjoy life, and I'm having a blast. That's what if there's anything that even through this pandemic, I've been having fun. I've been finding things to have fun. Shoot, it wasn't that long ago you guys watched me blazing around corners in Project Spirit, just like I was a teenager all over again. Oh my God. My little sister would keep me in line, that's for sure. Um, I got Princess Faye, and I've had other, you know, I've been with other ladies in the past. You know, the mother of my first two children. Um, she, you know, yeah, we weren't, you know, there at the end, we really weren't that good for each other. I was more toxic at that time. But honestly, even if it hadn't been for my alcoholism, I think eventually we probably would have separated. But just one of those things. We probably eventually would have separated. We were high school sweethearts, but I think if it hadn't been for my alcoholism and we would have separated later on down the road, I think it would have been a different, you know, it probably, you know, be I think it would be a different story. Um, then of course, you know, then there's, you know, my son Devin's mother, Jessica. Um, that woman can't seem to stay off the drugs long enough to start mending fences. For that matter, she can't stay out of prison because of the drugs. And I hope she finds what it is she's looking for, so maybe she can find sobriety. And one of the saddest things I had to tell her, because she'd actually, while she was in prison, occasionally sent me a letter. I didn't know what to send her back, but it was one of those things. She occasionally sent me a letter. And it really seemed like, when she got out, maybe she might do better. Obviously, I wouldn't want to be with her or anything, but she came out and, you know, we talked a little bit, but then it was kind of like I could start seeing her starting to slide back into where she was coming from. And, you know, it didn't take long. She, uh, she got back into that world and then she dropped off the map. And I really knew what happened at that point. She was, she got in trouble. She got in trouble with the drugs again, and she was going to go back to prison. And I hate to see it happen. I was really hoping, but I had to let her down in a way when she called for the first time. And we started talking. Um, well, with the holidays, that's kind of expected. I mean, some people will be in and out, and I know Think Difference had some stuff that's probably been eating his lunch. Um, he's had a lot going on, from what I could see, and he knows I'm thinking of him. He knows I'm thinking of him. Sean, I know he's got his Twitch channel, so he's probably focusing on that. And hopefully, if he learned anything, what I'm doing right, or maybe what I'm doing wrong, and it helps him along the way, that's even better. Um, just one of those things. Um, this is, but it's the holidays, and I imagine after the new year, we'll probably start seeing a lot of people in and out. So it'll be nice to see everyone once again. Um, but here we are now. We're still here. Hey, how you doing, Camry? Welcome to the live stream. Just having a chit chat. I was actually just getting ready to share probably kind of a tough story. Um, you know, and I was thinking back, last year. Well, good, good. I'm glad you're here. I hope the holidays have been treating you well. I hope you're spending time with your family. Princess Faye and I just went out and carried on a family tradition of mine where we go out and we just look at Christmas lights. We jumped in good old Project Spirit and just cruised around. We turned on the only difference with this year though. Hey, what's going on, Jacob? Oh, Queen Bee's Fall Guys stream? That's awesome. I briefly seen a little bit of it, and it's good to see Queen Bee. I didn't get a chance to say anything because we had to go out and about, but I'm football practice Saturday. Awesome, awesome. That's wonderful. I hope it's warmer than what it has been. That's for sure. It's cold outside right now. We were outside, and I kid you not, it was about 21 degrees outside for us, which it started for Fahrenheit. It starts freezing around 34 degrees. So we're below freezing in the Fahrenheit. Okay. So Ian is below 0 Celsius here. Jacob, I hope the holidays have been treating you well too. I was just about to, yeah, it's cold. What'd you get on your PlayStation 4, Simon? For the winter solstice, I bought Princess Faye, this plug and play, more or less. Cold War, there you go. Awesome. Glad to hear it. I'll go ahead and tell you. For Princess Faye, because she's like me, loves the retro games, but she likes her PC retro games. So I got her this basically. Yeah, I heard a little something about that, Jake. I heard something about that. You had a rough last year. I didn't hear all the details, but I heard it was really rough. This is also a rough year for my family because this is the first year my grandmother's been gone. My grandmother passed away back in February. Of all the things, the day I was celebrating 14 years of sobriety, we were burying my grandmother the same day. And grandma always said she was proud of my sobriety. So I felt it was fitting. So, but this is the first year that you know, that grandma's gone. It was also the first Thanksgiving this year with grandma gone. Um, it's been hard on grandpa. They're married like 50 years, come on. So it's been hard for the family. And with the pandemic, it's been hard to get up and see my family. Princess Faye pretty well has me on self quarantine because I'm high risk. If I get it, it could kill me, despite all that I do to take care of myself. There you go. Oh, thank you so much, Jake. So it's been hard for the family this year, but I remember, when it all kind of came down the pipe. Um, and yes, I do. Yes, I do, Simon. You guys have had we've had a lot of loss this year. Some of my friends, because of the pandemic, have lost loved ones. And one of my former coworkers at the other store. Yeah, imagine. We've all suffered a lot of loss this year and a lot last year coming into this year. It's been hard for all of us. But y'all have stuck together and helped support me. And I remember when I was in Pisces Queen's live stream, and I said I can't stay on long. I was in the chat. I said I won't be on long. I'm actually at a hotel getting ready to lie down for the night. Uh, I'm here for a funeral. My grandmother passed away, and she's like, "Oh my God," and we had to postpone my sober talk, um, you know, 14-year celebration. And a lot of there was around that time there were some people who were like, "Why haven't you done anything for your sobriety birthday?" And I said, "Because at the time my grandmother had just passed." So it was really difficult. Um, so it's been hard for the family. But as I started to talk about earlier, uh, my ex, Jessica, the mother of my son Devin, um, I, we were talking about it. Um, I was telling my son, I said, things happen between your mom and I. That's why we split up. And I said, when the day comes, we'll have to talk about what all happened. Um, because my son went through hell. But his mother, uh, she's, to my knowledge, back in prison. And I really had high hopes for her that she might do right, but she didn't, and kind of sad. But when she came out, she's like, "How are you doing?" I'm doing all right. Hadn't heard from you in a while. She said, "Well, yeah, you knew where I was." I said, "Yeah, I know, it's okay." I said, "We all make mistakes." And she said, "Well, get me caught up." I said, "Well, okay." And I said, "Well, what do you do?" We started getting caught up, and when I told her I was married, she's like, "You got married?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Why?" She said, "Well, there was part of me that for the longest time while I was in prison, I always thought that maybe when I got out of prison, that you and I would get back together." And I said, "You know that we split up for a reason. You weren't good for me. You causing me a lot of problems." And I said, I couldn't live with that. I said, because of the way things were going. You understand that?" And she's like, "Yeah, I understand. So, but I thought maybe if I changed while I was in prison, got out." And I said, I'm so sorry. I really did feel bad. It was probably one of the hardest letdowns I had to make, um, because, in the early days when her and I first got together, it was good. It was really good, especially early in sobriety. We had a great time. Um, Nothing near like what Princess Faye and I enjoy now, but it was a good time then. And, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And I was really hoping that she would, you know, be able to get on the right track and do right and that sort of thing. But it didn't happen that way, so she's, to my knowledge, she's back in prison again. Heroin is her problem. And I've watched a lot of AA members get caught up in that too. Heroin, gosh, that's the funny thing about us alcoholics. We'll do it if it takes us to oblivion, but that's just one of those things. And sometime I need to actually sit down and what did you give her? What did you give her, brother? Boob. What'd you give her? And it says he gave Pinky her gift. But I don't. I'm waiting to see what it is.
I wish we'd stopped at Walmart. I really wanted some tequila rose. I'm just kidding.
Come on, tell me, tell me, tell me. Oh my God. Oh, you Andres. You are so ornery sometimes. That poor woman. I know she thinks the world of you. Check out what Princess Faye got from her little sister. Hey, Spaz! They're just reminiscing. Just reminiscing in a good way, though. Trying to, at least. Holiday season, sometimes you talk about those. It's hard to talk about subjects. I got Princess Faye because she's got this thing for, we both like our retro games. Well, I got her this plug and play where basically it's like its own little console, but it's all the video games of the Commodore 64. And it literally comes with 64 games. Really cool.
How does a penguin uh, think about their memories?
Mm-hmm.
They reminisce.
You are not right. Also got her this cute little shawl, this sweater shawl that she was really enjoying. She's like, it's really warm. I like it. Mm-hmm.
I must have dreamt that I was a car last night because I woke up exhausted.
What am I going to do with you? So we've been enjoying the solstice this year, and I hope the holidays have been treating all of you well. Here in just a little bit, we're going to be live. About an hour and a half. I want to spend a little bit of time with Princess Faye before she lies down. She's got to work tonight. She works overnights at a local. I thought what? I thought you worked tonight.
Thursday.
Yeah.
I have tonight off.
Oh. Well, never mind.
Tomorrow though. Work tomorrow night.
I just
Remember,
said
this
you
is
worked.
my 3-day weekend.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Next week I have the 2 days off. And then the next week I have another 3 days off. I don't know why they're giving me 3 days off.
That's right. Yeah, the C64. Yep. Hey, honey, could you unplug it and the C64?
You want to see it?
Well, I want
You want to
to.
show
Sure.
it?
Yeah. We'll show it off. We'll have to get the capture card will work on it. That capture card that Brady sent us will actually work, and we can actually capture some of the gameplay. It's really cool. For the time, the graphics weren't that bad. I mean, we're talking 8-bit era, and yeah. This is it. The C64. Ian's jealous of you because you had the C64, basically the Commodore Mini. Now the buttons don't actually work on the keyboard doesn't actually work. But the joysticks plug in right here. Legit, it just plugs right in, and it's actually really cool. HD in the back plugs directly into the television, or in this case, a capture card, so we can play it right through the capture card to the television, capture any gameplay. Which it uses the same USB port for like a cell phone, so legit, it's actually really freaking cool, really, really cool. And this is what I got Princess Faye this year. It comes with this one joystick, but I'm almost willing to bet that it, Ian's jealous.
This is mine.
Yep. Got California Games on it, which I used to play that on original NES. I used to play it on that.
I'm so sorry. You poor thing. No wonder why you're traumatized towards games.
Actually, I didn't mind the game back then. I just don't remember how to. I've never played it on the Commodore, and
it's easy. It's an easy game to play. You smash buttons. And hope it works.
No. You give me a little while. I'll show you how it's done. And then, of course, we have the Atari Flashback as well, which I love that thing. That is so cool. I love that.
I'm glad you like that.
Yeah. Prince, you're moving. I'm moving in. Yep. So we got that. I got it. I got lucky. How I found it. I got very lucky. But yeah, Princess Faye, she loves it. I'm gonna have to get her to get some gameplay. We love our retro games. Love our retro games. Which I need to break out. I need to break in and start playing some Space Invaders and just upload that directly to the channel. I think you guys will enjoy that. Retro gaming, Space Invaders. Oh yeah. That's what's happening. Yeah.
I can play Frogger.
Yep, Frogger.
Do you know of the Frogger game? I think it was like Frogger Returns or something like that. It was a PC game.
Might have been.
Hey,
what's going on, Charlie? Good to see you. Just showing off something that I got Princess Faye. Let me see it. I'll give it right back. Got her the C64, basically all the retro Commodore games, about a total of 64 on this thing. And I know people. I get things. I know. Must be nice, Mr. I'm waiting for Ian to start. But yeah. What are you doing? Don't ask, yeah. But yeah, really freaking cool. Right? You like that, Jake? I seen California Games on there. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. But yeah, it's cool. Almost meant. Oh man, that's awesome. 16%, huh? We're going to be on Save the World here in just a bit, which that means I'm going to have to start considering shutting down the stream for the evening. We're going to go live here in just a bit. Ian won't be able to join us as I initially thought he, but I understand. Like I said, go give the family a big, give your mom and dad a big hug. But yeah, this is a Princess Faye's new video game console, 64 of the retro Commodore 64 video games on here, which again, for the time, the graphics were really good. I mean, really good for the time. It's freaking awesome. Um, but yeah, I was, I got it. I got it for a really decent price. And I'm like, we must have. So I got it. And Princess Faye, the only thing that she was really disappointed in is the keyboard doesn't actually work. This is just just for looks. But it's still pretty cool. Still pretty dang cool. I
Doesn't mean
met
I can't connect the keyboard though.
That's true. Doesn't mean you can't connect the keyboard because I think that's actually a function for this thing. No, Donkey Kong won't be in here. That started its life off as a Nintendo arcade. Most people tend to forget that Nintendo, and I need to really dive into the. Honey, do you want your Commodore back? That's funny because these things used to be really big. But yeah, um, that started its life off as an arcade game. It is a real arcade cabinet. And see, people tend to forget that Nintendo at one time used to make some really cool arcade cabinets. The original Mario Brothers was there. Yeah, it was for the NES, but before it became a port to the original NES, it was an actual arcade classic from Nintendo or licensed by Nintendo. But it was one if you ever find one of the actual boxes for Donkey Kong, uh, you'll see the original Nintendo boxing. But yeah, that's one of the original classics. The very first arcade cabinet that I ever played was Pole Position. Pole Position was in it. It's a racing game. It literally had a stick shift for high and low. You had a gas pedal and you had a steering wheel, and it was fun. I loved it. I actually got to play some of the really great arcade classics back in the day. It was a lot of fun. Drop a quarter in the machine, play. It was a lot of fun. Good time. Real good time. I actually remember a time when you could go into like a Chesterfield mall, which really is not the same as it used to be, but you would go in and play those old arcade cabinets, which the Prince Magnum channel does have an open invite to Chesterfield Mall because they actually have an arcade back in there again. So the Prince Magnum channel has an open invitation to go to this arcade so you guys could actually see it for yourselves. What an arcade used to kind of look like back in the day. They've invited us to come back and just you know show off the old games. Eventually, we're wanting to clear out more space in the office and actually bring in those arcade one up cabinets. You did? Congratulations, Charlie. I need to get over there and yeah, I need to get over there and man, that's awesome sauce, man. Real quick, while I'm thinking about it, the Prince Magnum channel has had something interesting that happened, and again, this is to me, this is just you know, you did too, huh? I actually played it for the first time in a Pizza Hut, in Manchester, Missouri. Well, on Manchester Road. No, I'm sorry, Old Baldwin Road, and that Pizza Hut isn't even there anymore. As a matter of fact, my mom worked there for quite a few years. Really neat place. It was a really neat place. Good times. Yep. Pole position. Let's see. Gosh, there was a lot of games I played over the years, and I loved it. I loved it, man. We're talking about actually getting the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade, the arcade one up cabinet, and actually putting it right here in the office. If we do that, we are definitely live streaming that. I will figure out a way. We'll set it up on OBS where there's an actual camera facing it and there's a camera on us, and we'll play the shit out of that thing. I promise you. You guys are going nuts for that. You ever you play the port to the NES and it's good, but you play the arcade cabinet and that is just like 1,000 times better. Especially if you get four players at the same time on that cabinet. Oh man, it's exciting. There's nothing like it. If you do it once, I'm telling you, nothing like it. Which, ironically enough, in the library of music for the Prince Magnum channel, we actually have some of the. You too. Stay safe, brother. And Merry Christmas to you. Happy winter solstice. And don't forget to give your mom and dad a big hug from all of us over here, here in the States. Um, give them a big, big hug from us. Because I'll tell you what, that guy right there, Mr. Gamery and BRFC, he's probably one of the coolest guys. I mean, I know if him and I were ever, hanging out, whatever, we would probably get into a lot of trouble. I don't know who would instigate more. We would probably have so much fun. We'd probably end up in a lot of trouble. The wives would have to come bail us out of jail. Be like, guys, really? Really? Love you, brother. But, that's just one of those things. But I do need to go start getting ready for the live stream. And I want to thank you all for being here with me tonight. Had a lot of fun. We went down memory lane and it was wonderful, wonderful to be able to share holiday memories with you guys, share memories in general, because I'm alive today thanks to Alcoholics Anonymous. Oh, my Spy Hunter, I played that one. Okay. Um, Trying to think of it. I used to play a lot of pinball machines too when I was a kid. I still have a thing for pinball machines. I love pinball machines. Um, Never mind arcade, arcade cabinets and things like that. Give me a pinball machine. I love pinball. Uh, don't get me wrong. A lot of those old arcade cabinets are really awesome, but give me a pinball machine. I love me some pinball. Um, you can't beat it. I'm telling you. Yeah, and it's surprise, surprise. Prince Magnum's a pinball fan. If I had a pinball machine, I'd never get to work ever. I'd be up here playing all the time. Forget it. I'd never stop playing. I love pinball. But anyhow, um, yeah, congratulations, Charlie. It's really awesome that you hit that 1K. I know you've worked hard for it. And for those in the gaming genre, it is not that easy to hit 1K. There's a lot of people playing a lot of games. Oh yeah, pinball rocks. Pinball, and believe it or not, um, I used to do pool tournaments too. I used to play a lot of pool. For those of you across the pond, billiards. And ironically enough, you'd think I was more of an 8-ball fan, being that I played a lot of billiards. But honestly, I preferred 9-ball more than anything. 9-ball is more challenging. And if you could play 9-ball, 8-ball is easy. So I'll tell anybody right now, give me 9-ball any day of the week. But other than that, I love, 8-ball's okay, but give me some 9-ball, you know. But as I started to say, for a lot of you in the gaming community here on YouTube, it is not easy. There's a lot of people that have a hard time really, finding that niche. And then even once you do find your niche, I will say right now that it is not easy to get noticed, even though you found your niche. Uh, I'm going to eventually do a video on things that I learned while doing YouTube. Um, and kind of an inside track. Let me kind of throw this one out at you. If you're doing a channel and, even if there's not a whole lot of people around, always, 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 always treat it like, when you're doing your channel and everything, always treat it like you're already speaking to millions of people. Treat it like that. Like even if you only take 10 views, you're only going to take maybe a handful of views on that video. Treat it like you're speaking to, thousands of people already. Okay. Even though Ian has already had to slide out for his morning, he's got to go over and see his mom and dad. There was actually a particular gentleman that had been in his stream and said, "Oh yeah, I got a video that's on 100,000 views." True story. And Ian's like, "Oh really? I'm gonna go check this out." He went over to the guy's channel. The video didn't exist. He was pretty pissed. And so Ian was pretty mad about that. And I was like, "Really, dude?" And then I turned right around and asked Ian, I said, do you care if I post a link? Yeah, go for it, man. I posted one and I said, that's what a video like that looks like. And basically, it's one of my videos that's coming up. The last time I looked at it, I haven't looked in a while, but it's coming up on 95,000 views. And when he's seen that, he's like, oh my God. And then I put in there, that's what that actually looks like. And it's like, holy crap, Prince Magnum. Gosh, dang it, man. Hey, what's going on, Chairman? We were actually getting ready to shut it down for the night. We're going to be live here in a little bit on Fortnite Save the World. So I'm going to tell you guys how this is going to go. Basically, when we go live here in a little bit, what will happen is I will only be helping people with storm shield defenses. There you go. There you go, Charlie. Well, Charlie, you know how this goes. Drop the link, my friend. Drop the link so we can get over and see you. But any hoop-de-doo. So basically what ends up happening is Wednesday night Ian and I went together and we worked on this one schematic for Save the World. And tonight, basically, I made numerous versions of this schematic. And it's called, basically, it's for Save the World Fortnite, or Fortnite Save the World, however you want to say it. It's a shotgun called the Maverick. Yeah, basically I made several legendary versions of a shotgun on Save the World called the Maverick. The irony of that. And it's been beefed up quite a bit. I'm really excited about this. beefed it up from, little bitty, um, what you do is you go over to your channel and there should be some sort of a link. There you go. There you go. Yeah, you changed your name. Yeah. Uh, oh goodness. You should be able to grab a link. Just grab a link to one of your videos. Just grab a link to one of your videos or one of your last live streams. Post that. We can find you. I need to get over there and see you a little bit more often, Charlie. I apologize. I don't get a whole lot of time to see as many of you as I should, and I really apologize for that. I feel really bad about that. I try to get over and see all of you as much as possible. Even if I don't say anything, I at least try to sit in the chat and at least leave a like and help you with your watch time. And I try to get as many of you as I possibly can, but I don't always get to do that, and I apologize. You know, but this went on. This stream has gone on a little longer than anticipated, and we didn't always just talk about sobriety, but that's okay because we talked about life, and my sobriety and life go hand in hand. Without my sobriety, I wouldn't be able to live life and enjoy it to its fullest. So, um, with this holiday season, I want you all to, stay safe, obviously, especially if you're traveling. Oh, hang in there, Chairman. There's 2020's been a tough year for, I think, everybody, but we're all still here and we're all still supporting each other. Keep hanging in there, one foot in front of the other. I'm still sober right now, and that's because of the fine folks in Alcoholics Anonymous who helped me stay sober, and all of you who continue to support me as I stay sober. It's all of you who continue to help me. Oh, that inactive stuff. It's like, guys, try to stay active. It is what it is. We're here now. Oh my goodness, T-Belly! I haven't got to come over and see you in a while, but it's so good to see you. T-Belly, I made my 4,000 watch hours. I made my 4,000. I got the email from YouTube. We're waiting for the review. We're waiting for the review. Got it 2 days before the holiday season. Thank you, brother. Hang in there, Chairman. We're going to get you there. Yeah, right? We're going to be live later on tonight, and I'll be playing Save the World Fortnite. And we're doing these. We're basically what we're going to do is I'm going to be going and doing storm shield defenses with other players, random players. But basically, whoever's storm shield that I help with, they get this really cool shotgun that. Yeah, I've got the bell turned on, brother. But basically, they'll get the shotgun that I made in game, and it's a gift from me to them, saying thank you for letting me, play with you. And it's my way of saying thank you, and for being a part of the stream. The only thing is that so it's random. Whoever gets one, it'll be very random. But in order for them to get it, number one, we have to do a storm shield defense, and number two, they got to say hi. They just got to say hi. That's all they got to do. If they say hi, they get one. And the irony of it is, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. The irony is it's these really cool shotguns that's in Save the World, and they're called Mavericks. Project Spirit, Maverick. I seen that. I was like, we totally got to do these. We totally got to do these as gifts. Wouldn't it be cool if I really could give away real Mavericks? It'd be nice. 70s Mavericks. Have you a classic American car? Give away real ones. That would be awesome. But Ford Mavericks are in short supply these days. It's been almost 50 years since my car was built. But, you know. All righty. So we are getting ready to wind down for the evening. Real quick, I got to take a moment. I got to take a moment here. Being the holiday season. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Jake. Since T Belly came in, I'm going to take a moment. Keep grinding. Keep grinding, brother. Just keep grinding. I want to take a moment since T Belly came in, and this is kind of important. T Belly, if you're still here, I hope you really you kind of take this to heart. T Belly every now and again, and he hasn't done it in a little while that I've seen, but what he has done is he would do these streams where he would drink, and here I am. I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, but he would have a he would have his drink, and I've seen the man drink, but I've never seen him wasted ever. I admire that. For the record, I admire that because I couldn't do it. I always drank for oblivion. That'd have been a jacked up stream. uh, you know, but now that I've said that, um, he knows I'm a sober member of AA. So one of the first things he would say is, raise, let's have a drink. Raise whatever you're drinking. I don't care if it's beer, mixed drink, coffee, tea, glass of water, whatever you got, raise it up. Oh, congratulations. Right? Right? Uh, but he's like, raise your glass, let's have a drink together. And talk about really nice, that he would, do that in his own stream, for a knucklehead like me, knowing that, yeah. And I thought that always made me feel like, I don't have to, it always made me feel even more welcome in his stream. And there's been a couple of times, I don't know if he knew I was having a rough night, and the fact that he would do that and still make this recovering alcoholic feel even more welcome is very special. So T Belly, I wanted to thank you. I'm right here on camera, and I can thank you a little bit more personally for that. Um, for doing that, because a lot of folks, when they do drinking streams, I mean, they almost want to defend their drinking to me. You don't have to defend your drinking to me, enjoy your drink. And I always get, you didn't do that. You're like, hey, man, you know, we're still having a good time. I knew it was a drinking stream. I didn't care. I knew what I was getting into. And you didn't do any of those things that I actually kind of find, you know, exactly, exactly. I didn't get sober to be taken away from enjoying life. I got sober so I can enjoy life. And you understood that. And I appreciate that. I don't think a lot of people, you were probably one of the most, um, probably one of the most sensitive to, how to treat an alcoholic, an alcoholic in recovery, being a member of AA and everything. And I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. I don't think, it's one of those things that, aha, there you go. Now that makes more sense. But if you will, and once I say this, it'll make sense. I get offended when people try to protect my sobriety. That's not your responsibility. That's mine. Don't take it from me. So I always appreciate when people, basically it's like, you know, you don't try to protect my sobriety. It's like, you know what you're getting into. You're a big boy. You're a big boy. You know what you're getting into, that sort of thing. So I always appreciated how T Belly was like, "Hey, man, we get it. We're glad that you're sober, and you know, and still, regardless, make yourself right at home." And I appreciated that. I always appreciated that. And he's one of the few and the proud that do that. And it always makes my day how he does that. It's so amazing because most everyone does. They either a try to defend their drinking, which don't do that. Don't bother. Okay. If you can enjoy it, enjoy it. Have one for me while you're at it. Have two. Okay. Have two, because I can't have alcohol without bad things happening. Okay. Every time I drink, bad things have to happen. Okay. So obviously, alcohol doesn't agree with me. So I probably shouldn't be drinking it. But if you can enjoy it, enjoy one for me. Have two while you're at it and celebrate life. Celebrate life. So, and don't try to protect my sobriety. That's my responsibility. That's mine. Um, it's my job to protect my sobriety. It's you guys' job to take something from the stories, and hopefully it helps you with part of your life or maybe someone you know. And I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. If there's something in my story that can help another person, take it, run with it, use it as much as you want. If it's helping another person, that's really what it's all about. We're all in this crazy thing we call life together. And 2020 has been quite that. Hasn't it? But we're here celebrating it now. And I hope the holidays have been treating all of you very well thus far. That does bring us to a spot where I really need to start getting ready for the next stream, which will be live. I'm going to have to wait a little while, but just kind of wait for it. Let's see, what time is it now? Okay, so it's about 20 minutes till 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll probably go live at about 10:30. I'm thinking about 10:30 we'll go live and start doing that giveaway. If you all can be there, great. It would be greatly appreciated. If you can't, just think of me. All right. That brings us to a spot here in Sober Talk. I want to remind all of you, number one, stay safe this holiday season. And when we all say stay safe this year, I think everyone has really meant it. We really meant it this time. If there's anything, I hope that this year has brought humanity a little bit closer together, because there's been enough death for 1 year. So I hope all of you that you all remember to stay safe this year. And most importantly, I want to leave you all with this thought. I can't do sobriety alone. Sobriety is not a journey you go alone on. I still need every last member of Alcoholics Anonymous, but I'm a selfish alcoholic, and I still need all of you too to help me continue to stay sober. That's how I've strung together over 14 years of continuous sobriety, and this February 7th, don't applaud for it yet. This February 7th will be 15 years since my last drink and drug. And I owe it to not only just the members of Alcoholics Anonymous, but I owe it to all of you too, every last one of you. So this holiday season, don't forget, if you're feeling like maybe you're not worth anything or you're not special, think again. Even if you're watching the playback, you're helping me stay sober. So that brings me to the most important spots in any live stream that I could do. And that's giving you all these last thoughts. And here on Sober Talk, we like to let out a certain way that's very special. And it's only for Sober Talk. Oh, hey, Chevy, we're actually getting ready to shut it down for the night. I was going into my outro, brother. But we're going to be live here in a little bit. We're going to be live again here in a little bit. So you got to be there. I want you to be a part of this. It's going to be exciting. All righty. So, as the special outro for Sober Talk goes, at day's end, I hope all of you need me as much as I need all of you. And as always, for all of you out there, especially during this holiday season, if no one has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.